to another episode of PRRR. Yeah, today PR did the show top. Yeah, your man get emergency, so he has to attend to it. So yeah, we then need to do the show today. So stick and stay, guys. So things are happening in the transfer market, as you all know, it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. But before we delve into the transfer market, let's discuss these few topics. Yeah, Sheldon was really interested in knowing Kompany's move to Burnley. Now he knows the BAP, so I want me to explain it to you guys very, very well. Now, Vincent Kompany has moved to Burnley as head coach, and it's very interesting. I see it as a very big step for him. There will be no pressure on him to deliver because it's the championship. The championship is very tough. It's very, very, very tough, but there will be no pressure on him to deliver. I'm expecting him to at least make the playoffs next season in the championship. He's losing players like Tarkowski to Everton. Pope is joining Newcastle, and he's losing key players, but he has to recruit well. He's in the market for where he's coming from, Anderlecht, their midfielder, Ghanaian midfielder, Ashimeru. He wants Ashimeru, but it will be difficult because Ashimeru will play Europa League football next season and Burnley in the championship. So I don't think he will move, but I'm expecting Vincent Kompany to make some important recruitments so that he'll do well in the first season in the championship. But my question is, why Burnley sacked Sean Dyche? That man was doing so well for them. He was consistent for them in the Premier League. No relegation. They are always safe. 5 games to spare. They give this man 10 CDs in the market to buy players, and he does magic with 10 CDs. And things went south, and they sacked him. I wasn't happy at all when they sacked that man. That man had offers from Everton seasons ago. He didn't go. He stayed loyal to Burnley. And when things went south, they sacked him just like that. And Uncle, you work with relegation. But I was just saying, big ups to Vincent Kompany and wish him all the best. Coaching is never easy. I know that. I understand that very well. So, all the best to Vincent Kompany in his new job. And let's move to Chelsea because there's interesting news in Chelsea. The Chelsea board is looking new now because Marina has left. Yeah, Chelsea fans are not happy with Marina Granovskaya. If I were to rate her, I'll give her 7/10 because she did some very good deals for Chelsea. Very, very good. Like Hazard had 1 year on his contract and he sold Hazard to Madrid for 100 million plus. He sold Morata very well. Otona Sanfa, Oton Yi, but Otono Nesika on Fanya de Papa. That's the issue Chelsea people have with that woman. But all the same, she's still the most powerful woman in football. And she's the best club director and negotiator in world football. She's won that award recently. So she's leaving Chelsea, and Chelsea has a brand new board now. So I want to run Chelsea fans through their new board. So Todd Bowley, he's a co-owner of the club. He has minority shares at Chelsea. He's not the chairman of the club. But Chelsea fans should get this well. He is not the owner of Chelsea Football Club. He's a minority owner of Chelsea Football Club. The real owners of Chelsea Football Club, they are called Clear Lake Capital. They are a private investment equity group. Yeah, they deal in assets, big assets. And they are worth over 72 billion pounds. 72 billion pounds. And the owner of Clear Lake Capital is called Igali Begdad. So his first won't be on the Chelsea platform, blah 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 blah. But he is the owner of Chelsea Football Club because he has majority shares in the club, and he has left the club to Todd Bowley to run the club. So Todd Bowley will be in charge of the affairs of Chelsea Football Club. The day in and day out affairs of Chelsea Football Club, Todd Bowley will be in charge because he's an expert in that. But meanwhile, he is also a co-owner of the club, but he has minority shares in the club. He also owns a baseball club in US called the LA Dodgers. So he's an expert in handling football clubs and sports teams. You get it? So let's get that clear. Todd Bowley, he's also an investor, he's a philanthropist, and he has a lot of business. He's also a billionaire. But he's not the owner of Chelsea Football Club. The owners of Chelsea Football Club are clearly capital. Yeah. So I hope Chelsea fans will get that distinction. So let me run you through the board members of Chelsea Football Club. Todd Bowley, like I said, he's the chairman now, and he is also a co-controlling member of the club. Then Bedad Igali is also a controlling owner of Chelsea Football Club. He owns 60% of the club through clearly capital. Then Mark Walter is also a co-owner of Chelsea Football Club. Then Hansen West is also an owner of Chelsea Football Club. That's the consortium Todd Bowley formed when Abramovich was willing to sell the club. Yeah. Then Jonathan Goldstein is also an owner of Chelsea Football Club. He is friends with Todd Bowley. He's friends with Toboli. They own the LA Dodgers together, the baseball team in USA together. Then Barbara Sharon, she'll be in charge of Chelsea's PR network and PR work. Yeah, she's a woman, Barbara Sharon. Of course, she's a woman. Then Lord Daniel Frankenstein, he will be in charge of Chelsea's data analysis. Yeah, if Chelsea wants to go and buy a player in the market, he will run the analysis and give it to the scout and the coach to see if he will suit the style of play. The player coming with the style of play. So and James Paddy is also part of the Kelly Capital team. These are the board members of Chelsea Football Club now. So Chelsea Football Club has a new owner now. There's a new style at Chelsea. They want to run Chelsea like the Liverpool way, using data analysis and stuff like that. Chelsea fans lower expectations because these people, they are in for profit. Abramovich was a pre-man. He's a skinny pre-man. Or no, if you go, when you say top players say, so people can find him, he doesn't care about the losses. He was running Chelsea like his toy. You get it? So Abramovich is gone. Chelsea fans lower expectations because these people, they are in for profit. So at the end of the season, they're looking at their profits. That one is a fact because they are they are businessmen. That's it, by the way, with the topic for the day. So let's go to the transfer market. But before I enter the transfer market, I want to make you guys understand this thing. I was having a conversation yesterday with an agent from Italy, my player's agent, and he was telling me that we're having a conversation about the Lukaku move. He was telling me that this year, the transfer market, it will make some way because the sellers don't want to sell at your price. The selling club don't sell at your price. They want to get what they want in the market. Because in the football world economically, if teams who are on the stock exchange will get Man U, Porto, and those teams, do understand me well? So, for example, Barca want to sell De Jong. They are selling him for the price that they want. So the teams are focusing on deals like maybe, example, Chelsea are focusing on Sterling before they go to Quendi. Teams are focusing on one deal at a time. They are not multitasking this season. So today we are going to go into the camp of the players. Today we won't go to the teams. So we want to start with Eriksen. Now Eriksen has rejected Man U, but there's no hope lost for United because Eriksen, United, Spurs, and Brentford are all in the market for Eriksen. Now this is the situation now. Eriksen wants to play Champions League football, and he also wants playing time. He will get playing time at United, but he won't get Champions League football. He'll get playing time at Brentford, but he doesn't want Brentford because they're not in Champions League. He won't get playing time at Spurs, but he will get Champions League football. So if you're Christian Eriksen, what will you do? Personally, I think he should join Manchester United because that will help him. He will get playing time, and also it's a big club. You get it. Then Rafinha, Arsenal's bid has been rejected by Leeds United. Arsenal's bid for Rafinha has been rejected. And teams that want Rafinha are Barcelona, Arsenal, and Chelsea. If he rejects Arsenal, Barca should get him because he wants to play for Barcelona. If Barca don't get him, Chelsea are lurking around to try and get Rafinha. Then Gabriel Jesus, good news for Arsenal fans because the negotiations are advanced. And I've done my research and got to know the fee. This is the reason why Gabriel Jesus is joining Arsenal. He's taking 16 million a year. That's in the region of like around 300,000 a week. So Arsenal was able to convince Gabriel Jesus because of money. Because Gabriel Jesus taking 300,000 a week is like one of the highest in the Premier League. Yeah. So Gabriel Jesus and Arsenal are in advanced negotiations, and that deal will happen. It didn't look likely 2 weeks ago, but now Arsenal are convinced that they'll get their man. Ziyech to AC Milan is not true. Chelsea are willing to sell Ziyech, Werner and Pulisic, but Ziyech to AC Milan is not true. And Bernardo Silva, City are asking for 85 million or 95 million euros for Bernardo Silva. Yeah, so one must say, most can make matter no more hard. So make me Bernardo Silva. Then Nick Pope is also in the news. He's from Burnley. He's leaving Burnley to Newcastle. A fee around £8 million. Nick Pope, very good goalkeeper. And Newcastle are recruiting very well. Then Wan-Bissaka has an interest from Crystal Palace on loan. Yeah, Bissaka to Crystal Palace, going back home to his former club. Let's see if that will happen. There's interest from Bissaka from Crystal Palace. So yeah. Then Gabriel Barbosa, he's a Brazil striker. Yeah, Wolves are prepared to make a bid for him from Flamengo. Yeah, he used to date Neymar's sister in the person of Rafalia. Yeah. So Barbosa could be back in Europe, or by Europe now. So let's see if Barbosa will come back to Europe and do well. Wolves are preparing a bid for Gabriel Barbosa from Flamengo. Yeah. And speaking of Neymar, Neymar is in the news. Neymar is in the news. PSG are willing to sell Neymar. PSG are willing to sell Neymar for the right offer. So, Chelsea, United, you can make a bid for Neymar, and PSG will be able to sit on the table and agree a fee with you. They want to sell. Campos doesn't fancy those type of players, those skillful players. Doesn't fancy them at all. He doesn't fancy them at all. So yeah, Neymar is in the news, and Neymar might make a move because PSG are willing to what? They are willing to sell. Then Takuma Minamino from Liverpool to Monaco. It's almost a done deal. It's a done deal. £50 million and 30 million in add-ons. Takino Minamino will leave Liverpool this summer. Yeah. Then Joao Felix, the Atletico Madrid striker. Joao Felix. PSG has made inquiries for Joao Felix. PSG have made inquiries for Joao Felix. They really want him on board. And he has, I think, he was bought for 110 million euros. So he won't go for cheap at all. He won't go for cheap. PSG are in the market for Joao Felix. Then Richarlison, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs. Everton wants £50 million for him. Everton wants £50 million for Richarlison. So between Chelsea, Arsenal, and Spurs, it's likely you end up in one of these clubs. So as time goes on, we'll see. Then Rafael Leao has a release clause of 150 million euros. Man City are ready to trigger that clause. They are selling Gabriel for £50 million. They are selling for £60 million. So they want to use that money to go and test the waters for Rafael Leao from AC Milan. Yeah. Then Mario Götze has joined Frankfurt. Mario Götze, the guy that scored the winning goal with the World Cup for Germany. He has gone to Frankfurt, and it's a done deal. Everything is done. It's finalized. So Mario Götze has gone to Frankfurt. Then Tottenham Hotspur are in the market for a right back called Gene Spence. Yeah, he's not Nottingham Forest. He was the best right back in the Championship last season, and they are ready to bid for him for £15 million. £15 million. And Gene Spence is a good right back. The system that Tottenham plays, they need a right wing back who is spacey and has speed. Last time I was explaining the types of speed to you guys in the recent episode. Yeah. So Gene Spence is will be a good recruit for Antonio Conte because of his space and his speed on the wings. Yeah. Adama Traore is in the news. Adama Traore. Leeds have made inquiries for Adama Traore. Adama Traore went to Barcelona. It didn't work out. So Leeds have made inquiries for Adama Traore. So we'll see how that news also pans out. Lewandowski. Barca wants 50 million for Lewandowski or nothing. 50 million euros for Lewandowski. Pounds and euros. Pounds, the money you say in euros. Let's get that thing clear. Pounds, the money you say in euros. But the value is the same. 50 million pounds, 50 million euros is like 45 million pounds. You get it? So the value is the same. But pounds, the more you say in euros. If somebody say 50 million euros, it's also 45 million pounds. You get it? So the value is just the value that makes it. So if you hear 50 million pounds, it's different from 50 million euros. You get it? The value, yeah. So PSG are also monitoring Lewandowski. If it doesn't move, PSG and Chelsea are also monitoring Lewandowski. If it doesn't move to Barcelona. Barca, people have money. Try and get Lewandowski, yeah. And Kepa is also in the news again. Kepa wants to leave Chelsea. So Nice is in Italy. OG Nice, they've made an interest in Kepa. They want him on loan. But Chelsea will ask for a huge loan fee because they bought him for 75 million euros. So Kepa is in the news. Kepa wants to leave Chelsea and go on loan. The last time I was talking about Lisandro Martinez. Now there's a bidding war going on for Lisandro Martinez, the Ajax centre-back. Arsenal United will go pound for pound for that boy. So Ajax has increased the money to 45 million pounds. Yeah, 45 million pounds. They want 45 million pounds for Lisandro Martinez. Man didn't get Timber, so they are trying to get his backup, his partner in defense. That's Lisandro Martinez. Then Chelsea are in the market for a right back called Jonathan Klaas. Jonathan Klaas is a right wing back, and Chelsea can get him for a fee of £10 million. But that boy has a very bad boy history. You see on the screen what he has posted there. Bad boy. Okasam Sembi. Chelsea have a bad boy coming to that club. A very bad boy. Then Torgan Hazard to Newcastle. Contract has been made for 50 million euros in the region of 10 million pounds. Torgan Hazard to Newcastle can happen. But Dortmund are willing to what? They are willing to sell. Jorginho Wijnaldum, it is not true. It is not true that Liverpool want him back. No. Liverpool are planning to renew Naby Keita's contract. Liverpool are planning to renew Naby Keita's contract. So, Wijnaldum to Liverpool is not true. Please, it's never true. Let's be clear about that. Then Raheem Sterling update. Raheem Sterling will be meeting with the board of Man City today to tell them that he wants to leave. And his move to Chelsea, if it's possible, he's representing himself. He's coming alone, no agent or no kind of representing him. He wants to meet the board of Man City and tell them that he wants to leave. He wants to leave. Either they give him playing time or he wants to leave. So they should sell him at a fee that will make him leave the club. Yeah. So this has been your transfer updates on Pro. My name is Ajo. You can follow me on Instagram on it's _Ajo. You can follow me on Twitter at the King Ajo. Thank you very much. See you next time.